Hello viewers, welcome to my channel, the Ancient Encyclopedia. Today we are going to see about the British Raj in India. It is normally called as the British Raj. And also we are going to see about the Pakistan, which is ruled by the British. If you like this video, click the like button, comment and share with your friends and family. And don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon. Let's go to the video. British Raj, the period of the British rule over the Indian subcontinent from 1858 until the independence of India and Pakistan in 1947. The Raj succeeded management of the subcontinent by the British East India Company after general distrust and dissatisfactions with company leadership resulted in widespread mobility of support troops. In 1857, causing the British to recognize the possession of the company's assets and imposed British rule. The Raj was intended to increase the Indian participation at the governance by the powerless of the Indian to determine their own future without the consent of the British led to an increasingly adamant national independence movement. Let's see the background of the British East India Company. Though India has been highly valued by the Europeans since ancient times, the long route between them was subject to many potential obstacles and obfuscations from the middleman, making trade unsafe, unreliable, and expensive. This was especially true after the collapse of the Mughal Empire and the rise of the Ottoman Empire, all but blocks of the ancient Silk Road. As Europeans, led the Portuguese, began to explore maritime navigation routes to bypass middlemen. The distance from the venture required merchants to set up fortified posts. The British entrusted this task to the East India Company, which initially established itself in India by obtaining the permission from the local authorities to own land, fortify its holdings, and conduct trade duty free in mutually beneficial relationships. The company's territorial paramountcy began after it became involved in hostilities, sidelining rival European companies, and eventually overthrowing the Nawab of Bengal and installing a puppet in 1757. Before that, the Siraj-ud-Dowlah was the Nawab of Bengal, and after 1757, the Battle of Plassey, Mir Jafar became the Nawab of Bengal as the puppet ruler. The company control over the Bengal was effectively consolidated in the 1770s when Warren Hastings brought the Nawab's administration offices to the Calcutta under his time oversight. About the same time, the British Parliament began regulating the East India Company through successive Indian Acts, bringing Bengal under the indirect control of the British government. Over the next 8 decades, a series of wars, treaties, and annexations extended the dominion of the company across the subcontinent, subjugating the most of India to the determination of British governors and merchants. The Sepoy Mutiny of 1857. Let's see about it. In late March 1857, a Sepoy in the employ of the East India Company named Mangal Pandey attacked the British officers at the military garrison in the Barrackpur. He was arrested and then executed by the British in early April. Later in April, the Sepoy troops at Meerut having heard a rumor that they have to bite the cartilage that is being greased with the lots of pigs and cows. It was forbidden for the consumption by Muslims and Hindus respectively, and they wanted to ready them to use in their new Enfield rifles, but the soldiers refused the cartridges. It was an immediate cause of the British annexation, that is, the revolt of 1857. As a punishment, they were given long prison terms, fettered, and put in jail. This punishment incensed their comrades, who rose on May 10, shot their British officers, and marched to Delhi, where there was no European troops. There the local support garrison joined the Minutemen. By the nightfall. The aged pensionary Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah II has been nominally restored to power by a tumultuous soldiery. The sieges of the Delhi provided a focus and set the pattern of the whole mutiny, which then spread through the North India. With the exception of the Mughal Emperor and his sons, Nana Sahib, the adopted son of the deposed Maratha Peshwa, none of the important Indian princes joined the mutineers. The mutiny officially came to an end on July 8, 1859. Let's see the aftermath of the mutiny. The immediate result of the mutiny was a general house cleaning of the Indian administration. The East India Company was abolished in the favor of the direct rule of Indians by the British government. In concrete terms, this did not mean much, but it introduced a more personal note into the government and removed the unimaginative commercialization that had lingered the court of directors. The final crisis caused by the mutiny led to a reorganization of the Indian administrators' finances on a modern basis. The Indian army was also extensively reorganized. Another significant result of the mutiny was the beginning of the policy of the consultation with Indians. The Legislative Council of 1853 had contained only Europeans, had to arrogantly behave as if were a full-fledged parliament. It was widely felt a lack of communication with the Indian opinion had helped to precipitate the crisis. Accordingly, the new Council of 1861 was given an nominated element. The educational and public works programs, that is, roads, railways, telegrams, and education, continued with little interruption. In fact, some were stimulated by the thought of the value of the transport of troops in a crisis. But insensitive British imposed social measures that affected Hindu society came to an abrupt end. Finally, there was the effect of the mutiny on the people of India themselves. The traditional society had made its protest against the incoming alien influences and it had failed. The princes and other natural leaders had either held aloof from the mutiny or had proved for the most part incompetent. From this time, all serious hope of a revival of the past or an exclusion of West diminished. The traditional structure of Indian society began to break down and was eventually superseded by the westernized class system, from which emerged a strong middle class with an heightened sense of Indian nationalism. The Sepoy Mutiny of 1857 was also called as the Indian Mutiny, Mutiny in India, the First War of Independence, the Revolt of 1857, the Sepoy Revolt, and much more. Okay, let's see the after the British rule, establishment of direct British governance. Let's see the acts on it. The Government of India Act of 1858. Much the blame of the mutiny fell on the indenture of the East India Company. On August 2, 1858, the government passed the Government of India Act, transferring the British powers over India from the company to the crown. The merchant company's residual powers were vested in the Secretary of the State for India, a minister of Great Britain's cabinet who would preside over the India Office in London, has been assisted and advised, especially in financial matters, by a Council of India, which consisted initially of 50 Britons, 7 of whom were elected from among the old company's courts of directors, and 8 of whom were appointed by the Crown. Both of some of the Britain's most powerful politicians, the leaders, became Secretaries of the State of India in the later half of the 19th century. Actual control over the governance of India remained in the hands of the British viceroys, who divided them between Calcutta and Shimla, and their steel frame of approximately 1,500 Indian Civil Service, that is ICS, officially posted on the spot throughout British India. Let's see the another video, that is the part 2 tomorrow. See you until the next time. Bye viewers.